What's up, everybody?
Yo.
Welcome back to Bold Moves on the Property Sisters Network. It's Raquel and Christy, your girls.
What up?
Episode 11. This is wild.
Crazy.
It's funny because I feel like the people that we've talked to, they're like, oh yeah, like how's that going? And blah, blah, blah. And like, what episode are you guys on? And we're like 10 or 11. They're like, people don't make it past 1,
Yeah.
or 2. And I'm just like, we really stuck in there and now we're here.
Toughed it out.
2 months later, and it's just been so much fun. We've really enjoyed it, and the past 2 weeks since we started in the new year, we had 2 guests on. I know you guys thought we were lying when we said we had friends and cool people that we know, but if you haven't seen those episodes, make sure to check those out. We had Amanda and Labrie on, and they were talking about the Revamp clothing swap that's coming up, and they're super awesome people. And then we had Jimmy Nelson, one of our coaches, on, who also had an incredible story to tell. So if you haven't seen those episodes yet, make sure that you jump on and listen up, because there's a ton of value in those, a lot that you could learn from, or events that you could go to, people you can connect with. That's the reason why we're doing this. So don't sleep on us, y'all.
Period.
But yeah, so I mean, speaking of that too, like the don't sleep on us. So I got a DM from someone. I don't even know his name, actually. Let me ask him what his name is. Let me give him a shout out.
Hilarious.
Here too. Yeah, you're gonna see this, my new friend. So he'll like DM me on some shit. Oh my god, what is your name? I'm recording right now, and I'm gonna give you a shout out. LMAO. But super cool dude. So anyways, he would message me about like whatever stories I had on. And then so today I posted about Hillary Duff. We'll move to her in a second. A baddie, a true baddie from our day
millennials.
Yeah.
Millennial stuff.
So this man, he was like laughing because I posted Hillary Duff's song, and I was like, she's just such a vibe. And if you've listened to Hillary Duff, you know she is mother of our generation. She's the all around baddie. She sang, she had her own, TV show, Lizzie McGuire, like whole nine. Anyway, he like messaged me laughing about that. So we go back and forth and shit. And then he was just like, he told me, I was like, do I even know you? Cause like his name was like a weird handle. I'm not going to share it, but, and I was like, do I like know you personally, or like, are we just on? Yeah. Either way, it's cool. You know what I mean? Right. Like I love this part of it, like connecting with people. And he's like, oh, we're just online homies. He's like, we're just cool humans. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, you're That's so awesome. Dope. Like, the world needs more people like you. Like, this is so much fun. I'm having so much fun right now. And so we just get to talking. He's like, yeah, I actually found you on YouTube, not even on Instagram. And I was like,
crazy, right?
That's so cool. Like, just the reach is like, you just never know. And oddly enough, he didn't even find me from this podcast. He found me from my very first YouTube video that I ever did, which was the land that I was selling in Hillsdale County, the hunting land.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a while back too.
That was at least a year ago.
Yeah.
And like I did this video where I was selling like some 80 acres of land. And I made a video about it. And I was like, hey, y'all, it's Raquel, EXP Realty. And I'm here in Hillsdale County selling 80 whopping acres of hunting land. It's prime, y'all. We never sold that land, by the way. I think they ended up building like or they're going to build a, what do you call it? What do you call those giant windmills? It's like a some type of solar.
You call it a farm?
Some type of solar wind farm. I don't know what the hell.
That's okay. Back to your friend.
But yeah, so my friend. So that was how he found me. And now, and he lives in Florida. He's just dope. I mean, he's got, he works for a company that does like flooring and shit. So like contracting work and stuff. But they're out in West Palm Beach. So if anybody needs some work done out there, hit up my guy, reach out to me, and I will ship you the details. But it's just moral of the story, just super, super dope having somebody reach out to you that like you would have never found had you not like put yourself out there. So to me, I'm just like, and that was like the first video. So I'm just like so excited to see where this goes. Cause like, I mean, even being on Robert Courtney's podcast, the RPR,
Realist People in Real Estate.
Yeah. With Brooke and Nicole and Tyra, like that was an opportunity in itself.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it's exciting what we're doing, but I think the nerves have just been there and we're just like, what are we doing? Like,
we have no idea what we're doing.
And it's like, but we're still just kind of doing it and we're having fun and just like going with the flow. And like, you just really never know what's going to come of any of this. And so if you're thinking about it, you should definitely just do it. Just get out there.
My guy's name, he goes, you can only say it if you say it right. It's Esteban.
Yo, Esteban.
This one's for you,
¿Qué
homie.
pasa? Let's go.
Well, let's hope I pronounced that right. I'm pretty sure I did. You're a G. Thanks for reaching out. Much appreciated. Your support and all that is just incredible. And the world needs more people like you, period. So thanks for that. But you guys.
What a small world, though. Like how people can connect. Like that's the fun of all this stuff. Like that's the point, like you can get lost in, social media consumption, I feel like, but doing things like this and like making these new connections and like we're in the same kind of realm, like we, who knows who we know that would need work like that. And, it's just, it's so crazy. Yeah. So that's a fun one. Yeah. I love that.
He was also saying how like, he's not really like a TV like person. He just like likes YouTube. And I feel like a lot of people these days are like that. Like they just like to, throw on a podcast and just listen as long as the conversation's good, just some kind of background noise or whatever it is. And like, I totally feel that too. And like, people are just kind of doing their thing and whether it's background noise or you're listening to something that's motivating or influential or caters to your business or self-help or whatever it is, it's good to consume, but it's also good to put your shit out there. For me, I'm not really a consumer. Like I like to look at people's stuff to like just kind of bounce ideas off of it for like my own stuff. I never really was big into podcasts though, but like I do like like an audio book or like I like to read books.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that's kind of my jam. And I wish I kind of was a YouTube person because there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube, but I feel like there's just so many platforms and I'm the type that's like I get so lost.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like I'm just like TikTok's getting banned now and I'm like I don't give a shit because I couldn't even figure it out. Like I tried.
That's way over my head.
Our views are so low on TikTok. I'm just like, why do I do this?
I wouldn't even know.
But like,
honestly.
I'm just like, I gotta move this here. I gotta move this here. I gotta move it to TikTok. And I'm just like, man, I don't. So like, whatever. If it goes away, like, it is what it is. I feel bad for the people that like, started their careers off of it. But personally, I think it'll end up getting sold just like the rest of everything does. But whatever.
Way.
Yeah.
Face the challenge head on, TikTokers.
Oh, that's so
funny.
Do
whatever
you
gotta
that.
do.
I actually face the challenge head on is so true. But I just posted something and when I posted it, I was like, man, this shit is deep. And if you're on my same wavelength, then you'll understand why I think this is so deep. Because everybody just be going through shit. Anyways, here's the quote. It is it says, one of the recurring core truths, reoccurring. English is not my strong suit. One of the recurring core truths I witnessed about the human psyche is that those who face the darkest parts of their life with courage, loving acceptance, and surrender always experience a massive blossoming in their life after. Confront the dragon, get the gold.
Period.
And I was like,
I love that.
Ooh, that shit goes hard. Because it's true. I feel like that's kind of like what we talked about on the RPR podcast, which is also a really dope podcast. You guys should check them out. It's something that we talked about. We didn't get into the real estate side of things much. I mean, we did a little bit, but that's not. They like to have their podcast.
It's everything but real estate.
Yeah,
so
everything
anyway.
But we just talked about like our personal journey a little bit. Just kind of got into the ins and outs of what like our lives looked like growing up and things like that. And I don't think we really expected to do that.
Honestly,
there was tequila involved.
There was.
That's never gonna happen again.
I was so. I don't know why. Like, obviously, we know I have a nerves problem being, on the podcast in general. And like, I think when I sat down, like, I don't know what came over me, and I was just like full anxiety mode, but like trying to be chill, like, and just
sip the tequila hard. That's where Christy was at.
Oh my God. Yeah.
If you saw the picture that was posted afterwards,
my God.
We looked at each other, we're like, are we sleeping?
It's like embarrassing.
So we
naturally
have like a look that we look like our eyes are basically closed all the time. Yeah. But when we drink tequila or anything of the nature.
Like, see ya.
Yeah,
see ya, bye.
We can barely see ya. Just kidding, we can still see you. So don't think I can't see you. I'm watching all y'all.
Oh man. But anyway, what were we talking about that? Oh, I know we got into like a lot of our story, a little more personal, still professional though, kind of how we ended up here, how Property Sisters was born,
Yeah, of
and
course.
pretty much what we're bringing you live today. So
Yeah, so if you're going through the mud, just stick with it.
yeah,
There's a nice little shower at the end.
yeah, just keep going. It's not
Play in
like
it.
every day. You have to just take it day by day. Yeah,
Be like a pig.
roll around in
Roll
it.
around in the mud, and eventually you will come out the other
You'll be
side,
all right.
and your caretaker or what, maybe you just jump in the shower and wash that shit off. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Honestly, I'm lost at this point too. But
What?
if you're going through it, just keep going.
Yeah,
Um,
listen to us, and maybe we sound like such assholes that you're like, well, at least I'm doing better than them. Joking. I'm
oh
very
man,
happy in my life right now. Thank you very much.
it's just been like I feel like every week we're like, oh my god, it's like already the next episode, and like, how are we doing? What are we doing? What are we going to talk about? And like, we can trip out about this. Like,
I don't even care anymore.
it could. And now we're just like, okay,
I
we
was
talk
like, we're
about it for
already
a few
talking. Why don't we
minutes.
just hit record and
Let's
just
just
keep the
go.
bullshit running? You
Yeah.
know,
So
I just kind of got to that point where I was just like, let's just roll with it, because like even like there's been episodes where I'm like, oh, that's gonna slap. We're gonna go viral, you guys. This is it, you know. And then like, no shade to Jimmy, but it was like Jimmy's that got the most views, like organically. Like I posted, I love you, Jimmy, and
we love you so
you're not
much.
gonna watch us anyways. But like Jimmy, you know, we love Jimmy, but like the last person that I thought was gonna get the most views was my coach, who's just like the old white guy, you know, like
Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
I love you, Jimmy, but it's like I've said it to his face
Unc, we
before.
love you so much.
I said it to his face. He loves me. I love him. It's we get it. You know, he's like, you guys should start a podcast. Jimmy's the reason why the Property Sisters Network exists.
Yeah,
Okay.
period.
And you know, one of the things he said to me, just so that you guys don't make me out to look like the asshole,
No.
is, you know, you guys should totally do this. Like, you're pretty, you got stuff going for you, blah, 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 blah. You guys, you know, have good conversation. Put it out there. Who wants to watch me, the old white guy, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it's like, he's like, I'm doing it. You guys should do it. And so yeah, so don't come for me. All right.
No.
Anyway, so Jimmy got on IG right now, he's got 922 views
Wow.
on the reel that we posted.
No way.
And then I posted the same short on, do we call it a short? Do we call it a reel? I don't know.
You're asking the wrong person.
Anymore. He got quite a few views on the actual podcast itself. And then on the short, I literally posted it last night around like 7-ish p.m. And I woke up, there was like over 400 views on that one. So
That is amazing. Shout out to Unc.
Jimmy,
That's really cool.
come do a part 2.
Yeah, right.
Whoever makes it first retires the other.
That is great.
Period.
I love that.
Period on period. So,
Yeah.
so what else we got for him?
I don't know. Let's see.
Why don't we pull a popsicle stick?
Okay.
It's a little bit early for that, but I'm feeling a vibe right now.
Yeah, you're definitely on a vibe right now. So I'm gonna let you just run
Get
with
this,
it.
you guys.
Roll with it.
So I have kicked the caffeine quite some time ago, and I drank decaf, and you would think that I am like on speed sometimes, because I'm just, but that's literally why I had to get rid of the decaf, was because I'm already such like a up person. Like I will get up, I will go to the gym, I will knock out all these tasks with 0 caffeine. At nothing. Like I'm seriously trying to be like the most healthy that I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed like the caffeine, like I'd go to the gym and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so anxious. I need to get off this treadmill, because like I feel like my heart's about to come out of my body.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this doing this to me? Why is this doing to me? And I would have a cup of coffee before I went to the freaking gym. I cut that shit out, and guess what? I'm
feeling
straight.
good.
I'm solid.
I love it.
I'm hype. No caffeine. Anyways. Dealing with comparison and social media pressure.
Wow.
Finding peace in your own journey. You guys, this is a life thing. Dealing with comparison. First of all, let's just start with that. We'll get to the social media pressure next. But dealing with comparison, this is like a part of like finding yourself. When I was growing up throughout my 20s, there was people in my life that I considered friends. And there were parts of my personal life, like my home life and things like that, that I was not proud of or happy about. Things were just happening. It was just a hard time. And so I would look for myself in the wrong places. I'm like, well, I have this real estate license, but I'm not really fucking doing anything with that. And then I'm still working at Verizon, but like this kind of sucks. And then I had, a relationship that I was in that also sucked, but like, and then you just kind of feel like, well, where do I belong? Like, and then you start looking at these other people and they all seem so happy. And you're like, I won't, okay, maybe if I dress this way, maybe if I act this way, like them, like
Mhm.
them, like them.
Yeah.
And then like I dug myself into this deeper hole of without even realizing it of like just sadness and like and I didn't even know that I was like sad. Like it was just a sad point in my life and I was just like after a while I got fed up with myself and I was just like I want to change my life. Like I literally was just like, "Oh my god, this sucks so bad that like God, please rip me from anybody that is toxic for me." Like this is what I would pray. I've always been like a believer and I do feel that there was plenty of instances in my life where I was like, God, if you do not make this change for me, I will not make this change on my own. I need you to physically pull me by the ears and like let's
Mhm.
go. So so that's kind of what happened for me. They just like the switch just kind of turned on for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even like these people and I'm trying to be like them. No, not happening. So then I was like, okay, let me start doing the things that I like to do. And then like, okay, what are even those things? What did I do when I was like a child that like I wanted to like do again? So and honestly, you guys, it wasn't even until like recently that I actually have like come to this mental full body like fullness. And I still am like working on this and practicing this. Um and I'm actually also reading a book that I will share with you. It's called Befriending Your Inner Child, and it's done wonders for me. Um, I'm really enjoying just like the depth that it takes me down, and like
Mhm.
just the recognition of like what I've gone through in my life, and like how I ended up where I'm at, and like now. And it's crazy because like now, like I bought a karaoke machine, y'all. I will sing my heart out, okay, to some karaoke.
Facts.
But I bought the machine without even getting to this part of the book that was like, what's something that you used to do that like you don't do anymore, but like it used to make yourself happy. And it just kind of like, life gets in the way. You get busy, work, life, bullshit. And you just
Mhm.
kind of like, if you're an athlete and you grew up and you're like, oh, I used to play soccer, I used to play basketball, whatever. Like maybe you don't do those things anymore. And so then I was like, I want to sing karaoke. Like I'd be singing in the car like you guys don't even know. And so I was like, I need to get me a mic. Give me a mic. So I buy a karaoke machine and then after that I'm reading this book some more and it tells me like what's a hobby that you used to do that used to make you happy? Like go do it. Like I used to sing in choir. I did plays. I was in the theater. I did all the things. And then it just kind of like washed out for me after high school or whatever, life again. So
Mhm.
I was just like, fuck it. But now I'm, like, starting to do all these things that, like, make me happy, and I really, like, the more that I fill my cup, the less I give a shit about anybody else, like, what they're doing. Like, of course, I love my friends and my
Mhm.
family, and, like, I think people are cool, and whatever you're doing is cool, and, like, other podcasts or you got this going on,
Yeah.
I commend you all day long, like, that's
Of
dope.
course.
But, like, as far as comparing myself anymore, I'm so like you should be 100% focused on yourself, what you like, what you want, what you feel like you need, what needs you need to be met and find them like within yourself and avoid at all costs comparing yourself to other people because it truly is the thief of all joy.
Mhm. 100%. But I feel
That's
like before you go on a little bit further with that, there's a lot I wanted to touch on, and I'm sorry if I don't
we're gonna
remember.
unpack more.
Because I was just like, every time you would say something, I would have a thought and another thought. But
Be writing down that notebook.
sorry, I couldn't even try writing as fast as you were talking. But the
No caffeine.
what I think what I want to at least talk about is like this has been a long time coming. This has been some years of a lot of inner work that you've been doing.
Yeah,
And the
that's
first
facts.
thing is that you really address that you felt some type of void and like really made it a point to be proactive about it and to change your life and to acknowledge those things, those like inner demons or whatever you want to call them, just like
Yeah.
that turning point became so real for you that you were like, I'm done. And like, we all want to feel that sense of acceptance and belonging and things like that too. And it's like, if I don't feel that, like if you're all your sensors and everything is just like going off the charts and like something's telling you like this is not the life for you, the first step is removing yourself,
Acknowledgement, yeah.
acknowledging it, and just being like, okay, like who's Raquel? What am I
Mhm.
gonna do? And like you may not even know that answer for like how you just said, you just now got your karaoke machine and got into all these other
I'll fuck it
things.
up, y'all.
But like it's so true because you're just like you have to start somewhere and the journey, the road seems so long and you don't even think like
But then
that
the
there's an
years just go
end, but it
by.
yeah, like and it's like as time like time's gonna go on. So it's like if you whether you decide today or tomorrow or you don't, like that when you have that moment, that aha moment, that's on you. You
Mhm.
know, whatever you're not
Time's
changing,
gonna go
you're
by
choosing and
regardless.
that's it. Time's gonna go by. But the fact that you took that initiative to do something with your life and just take it step by step, I think is so admirable because people won't even do that much and they
Mhm.
just stay, they're comfortable, like, you know, it's like stagnant and you just don't want to you don't even know what you would want to do so you don't do anything like, "Oh, I'm fine. I can just this could be fine. I can chill."
Yeah,
And it's fine, but it's like you don't want to wake up one day however many years later and be like,
that's
"Damn,
it.
like why did I stay? Why did I do this?" You know, like
Yeah.
everything like I know I feel like I've been throwing so many random one-liners out, but you're literally one decision away from, like, a whole new life,
It's true.
and it's like, do that thing, make that choice,
Yeah.
and you don't know, like, where the next what that next door opening is gonna look like for you,
All
so,
day
I think
long.
that's very cool, and I'm very proud of you
Thank
and
you.
your journey,
Thank you
so
so much.
you're
And it's
welcome.
crazy because like I don't even think about it like that. Like the steps that I took and blah 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 blah. Yes, that is what I did. But like in the moment, it was truly like a day by day thing that like I
Mhm.
was like, okay, it's another day. What you gonna do? You're in the mud. You're in the true thick of
She's
it.
rolling around in the mud.
But I'm rolling around like a damn pig, and I'm like, it's all right. God's got me. I'll make it out of this shit one day, one day, one
Right.
day. You know, and here we are, like years later, and like I've just found so many things that truly make me happy, and I think that's the key to it all because like you know I really incorporated like the gym into my life and I was like, okay, every time I don't go to the gym, I feel like a little bit of just like this weird sensation in my chest. So like I'm going to just keep going to the gym. Like I feel like I feel mentally like good there.
Mhm.
So like that's like a non-negotiable. Like I have to be in the gym and like I have to eat clean. I have to I have to do XYZ. I have to go to church on Sundays. I have to do all of these things in order for me to stay in tune with like who I am and what makes me feel good. But like
Mhm.
you guys, this is like over the course of like if you just think about it from like a daily, like 365 days in a year, like that's a lot of freaking days, you know? Like do something with those days.
Yeah.
Don't like when you go to bed at the end of the day, like you should be like, okay, like did I do everything that I could have done today? And if the answer is no, like make yourself a to-do list for the next day. Like maybe you don't get up at the time that you wanted to, but when you do get up, you take your ass to the gym or like you go do something that like
Do something for you.
go buy a dog if you like dogs, like, go walk the dog. I don't know, like,
Yeah,
whatever it is, you know, like,
whatever.
I'm not a dog person, like, I love dogs. I don't want my own. 'Cause, like, I don't wanna take care of something like that right now in my life. But anyways, just saying, like, the point is just, like, just start doing shit that makes you happy, you know? Like, we're so not promised tomorrow, and, like, that's
Mhm.
another thing, like, I over the past, like, few months, like, I have had so many clients go through death, like, different tragedy, like, one of my clients actually, like, passed away, like the actual client of mine passed away. The other two, their husbands passed unexpectedly. And I'm just like, and they're young, you know, like
Oh,
whether I
yeah.
think they're one was in like their 40s and the other one's like late 30s, just unexpected. And I'm just like, you have no idea
No.
what tomorrow holds. Like,
Mhm.
God bless my clients. I'll give you an example. One, I sold them a house in 2023. Just before Christmas, we closed. They were happy, so excited to be in their house for Christmas. 6 months later, her husband has this pain and finds out he has cancer and dies in the next couple months.
It's unbelievable.
Not even a year into their
So
house.
sad. So
And I'm just
sad.
like, you know, I was like, this ain't real life. No way. You're fucking with me. Like, no way. And like, and then me and Fabian, because Fabian was on the loan, and I was like, when he told me, I was like, no, you're kidding. He was they were the coolest. Like he was like a music producer, like he had long his hair was in braids down to his knees and he was just super dope dude like and I'm just like how did life just
Yeah.
take a spin, you know? And
Never
then
know. Really don't.
you really just don't know. And I think like just seeing shit like that because like I feel like everybody goes through like some type of trauma, some type of tragedy and things like that, but seeing it firsthand, knowing people like in real estate we come across people, that's our job
Yeah.
is
All walks of life
all
and
all the time we're meeting new people. So like
Mhm.
just things happen, and it's just like, so like we see a lot of shit, and I'm just like, knowing all of this stuff can happen. And I mean, even pre real estate, it was whatever, won't go down that road, but like knowing that tomorrow is not promised should be enough motivation for you to take action and do something that you want to do. If you
100%.
like, you should just be doing it. And I know it's so much easier said than done, but like when you really
It's
meditate
a
on
big
it,
thought to
to your
grasp, like, to
it
actually,
is.
like, let it sink
Yeah,
in,
like
because like
do what you say you're gonna do.
yeah,
Not, everyone preaches
and
this shit
yeah, and, like, you really have to, like, sit there and think, like
in
you
a
said,
quiet
meditate on that
space
thought and
and
just, like,
meditate on it.
what that means,
What is that for you? Because
It's heavy.
it can all just be gone tomorrow.
Mhm.
And it's kind of morbid to think about too, but that's real life. That's just real shit.
Yeah.
All we can do is pray for. I love you, Theo. If you ever see this podcast, marry me. Um, but yeah, if you know, I guess.
Whatever.
If you know what
Um,
I'm talking about. Anyways, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like it's
do.
just like
Do.
it is real heavy shit, but at the end of the day, this is the life that we get and you get one shot at it, so take it.
Right?
That's all I'm saying is, and you get caught up in your shit, and the fact of the matter is when you get caught up in your shit, you have the time that God gives you. So when you open your eyes the next day, the first thing you should be doing is being grateful for the opportunity to open your eyes the next day. And then
100%.
take it from there.
Mhm.
Each day by day, and make it better for yourself. Like, and each day I promise you guys it does get better. Like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm healed and I'm this and I'm that, but like I'm working on it,
It's constant. Like,
and
you're
I'm
always a work in progress.
110% better than I was a few years ago. Like from start till now. I mean,
Mhm.
we're talking probably like almost
20
3 years now. Well, I mean, that was like a whole thing, but like the start of like where I was like, okay, I'm recognizing that I am in the dumpy dumps. That was probably like 2, 3 years ago ish. And I have spent every day since, I shit you not, every single day since, working on myself and my mind and my body
Yep.
and who's around me and who I allow in my life and what I'm consuming
Yep.
and what I'm reading. And
Energy, everything.
it all is so it's like you become like so fragile. Like you have to,
It
don't you
is
want some water?
100%. I do actually. I'm, like, dying.
Um, but yeah, like you guys just, you got to start somewhere. And I know I'm just like, I'm such an aggressive person. I'm like, do it, do it, start
It's
tomorrow.
scary
I
sometimes.
know I'm that way, but like that's just how my personality is, and I think that's why I've been able to have. I feel like I'm talking so fucking much.
That's okay.
Um,
I'm chilling.
but like I feel like that's why I was able to have. You can have it. Um, I have my coffee that's decaffeinated. I feel like that's why I've been able to have like um success. That's my definition of success. That's why I've been able to have success in my life, is because I have been able to discipline myself to do some shit
Been
that
able to
like,
fill your cup.
yeah, that like I could actually like implement the stuff that I'm learning and take it and run with it. And I just think that's such an important thing. So, if you are listening and if you are out there and you are feeling some type of void in your life, like just start looking for things that make you happy. Like even if it's like just to go watch the sunset,
Mhm.
or like if it's raining outside and you just want to go stand out there and cry, like that's totally fine too. Like I'm just like the most, like whatever, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And like just do things that make you feel, you
Yeah.
know. Unc said something to
Agree.
me the other day. He was like, because I when I found out that like that client of mine had passed, I was like, I felt so heartbroken and just like gutted that like they have a young daughter, and like I'm just like, this is unfair.
Mhm.
Like I don't want this feeling. And I'm not even them
Mhm.
to be like
Mhm.
experiencing it, but like I just felt for them. And I was like, I don't want to feel this sucks, and Unc was like, that's how you know that you're alive, and that's how you know that God is moving you in places that like you're meant to be. So be grateful that you have the opportunity to know them and to be
Mhm.
there for them, to support them. And
There's a
and
reason that God put you in
and
front
the,
of them to,
it's
you know,
the
it's
whole
crazy.
backstory to that is like so crazy, you guys. I won't get into it, but like God really does move and works in ways that we probably cannot even comprehend. Like that's if there's one thing that I know, it's until now, like I am a very like faithful person and I truly believe that God moves in ways that I refuse to be able to understand because that would just make me anxious even more. So like I truly had to like let go and put all of my trust in him just so that my life can just kind of like open up in front of me and just leave it. Just leave it like that. You can take control because
Pray for the guidance.
I don't even
Yeah.
want the control. I don't want it. It's too
No.
much. It's too much to bear in my opinion. Um See why these popsicle sticks are so fire?
Yeah, they are.
Because like that was stemmed from dealing with comparison. I'm going to shut up now and we're going to talk about how about it says dealing with comparison and social media pressure. Do you want to talk about that and finding peace in your own journey? I didn't even read that part of it. Well, maybe my subconscious did, but I think I covered that. Or do you want to pull another one?
I can cover that. Wait, let me read it again.
Just the social media piece. I think we're
I mean, I feel like we
let's
talk
pull
about it
another
a
one.
lot, but
Let's spice it up and freshen up a new
okay.
popsicle stick or read whatever you want. I'm sorry. I need to decaffeinate this coffee some more. Maybe I slipped something in
They must have. I don't know.
there.
Crazy. But yeah, you know, we talk about social media pressure and stuff, and it's like it's there, it's real. I feel like I definitely feel it more than Raquel does, just because like social media in general has not really like been my norm, and it's not really like part of the job title when you get your real estate license. But you're just like, yeah, I need to do this if I want my business to be as successful as I know it can be, and just trying to put yourself out there and out of your comfort zone. Like, honestly, there's times where it makes me just like so miserable. I just want to crawl into a hole. But then there's times where I'm like, I'm so glad we did that. Like starting the podcast, like it's something that I literally struggle with daily, like every time we do this, like no bullshit. But at the same time, I'm like, it's good for you. These are like ways that you're going to be learning and growing. And like, it's just an uphill battle type of thing. Like, don't compare yourself, stay on your path, whatever that looks like for you, and just chill out.
Maybe
You'll
if
be
you
fine.
just maybe if you just like don't consume, like don't look at other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Just
And
post what you
I
post and
I
then just don't look at
literally
other people's shit.
I do that a lot.
You
I do
know?
that a lot just because like if your like mindset's not as, I guess, tunnel vision as yours, let's just say. Like it's easy to have like that slip up where you see something or someone, you're just like, man, like, what am I doing? And why did I do that? Or why should I should do this? But it's like, that's them. That's not you. So you're on your path, stay on your path, and you'll end up where you need to be. So
Run it, run it.
how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance? Hilarious. I struggle with this daily, you guys. I really like, I'm either like super locked in to work mode or I'm like super locked in to life mode. And the balance is something that I am really working hard on because,
I think you've done really well with it though as
well,
the
thank
time
you.
has gone on.
Yeah, it just took like a couple massive like burnouts where I was like, I'm exhausted. My brain is tired. And I don't even like, you just sit there and like either scroll aimlessly or just like sit in silence, like literally drive without any music on type
We've
of,
all been
and
there.
it's like, man, I'm just like going, like, I don't even know what I want or what I need. I'm just like going through it. But I think constantly, I've seen so many of our coaches talk about this and I will go to every single session or tune in. Like,
Yes, she does.
no matter, I swear if I've seen it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I still go again because depending on where you are mentally, like there's things that are going to click with you that even though you've heard them 100 times, like that went in one ear and out the other because you weren't like in that present moment, like you're somewhere else. And then
mentally
when you see it
you like
again,
either excelled to another level and then something else clicked with you and made sense at this new
right.
stage of your life. Sorry, I
Exactly.
just wanted
No,
to
you're
clarify
fine.
that a
Thank
little bit.
you. I
Yeah.
do that. But like it's no matter how many times you hear it, like when it does click for you, you're just like, damn, like that one little thing, I've been able to make my life a little bit better, and even if I heard it 5 times, like that's the time that counts. Like
Mhm.
just stay with it, stay plugged into whatever you need to keep working on that balance. Cause I think it like even for us, like last year was probably my was my best year, with real estate, but I was depleted. Like I
Mhm.
was just done.
Mhm.
And I was like, how are people doing like way more business and like having a life at the same time? I
And they
don't.
go on
And
vacation.
yeah, and
You
I'm
guys
just
are
like,
getting paid?
damn, literally. And I'm like, man, like what am I doing wrong? So I just literally went back to basics. I was like, okay, I got to tighten up
Yeah.
my systems. I got to tighten up my schedule, and like trying to maintain that schedule was like just day by day, like, okay, everything that I have, like our coaching sessions that we do weekly and training calls we have every morning, like, you just kind of plug things in where they're like constant and like, okay, these are the things I'm for sure going to be doing on a weekly basis, daily basis, and whatever. And just kind of work your time in when you can, work your clients in when you can. And, and if it's something that like I want a day on either Sunday or Monday when it's like a little bit slower or when it can be, and like take that time for me and get myself together and get ready for my week and do the things that I need to do to make me feel, ready to take on my next week,
Yeah.
And it's like even if you have those appointments and things like that or someone randomly calls you out of the blue because it happens, like delegate that stuff out, figure out a way to make sure that you're good. Like whatever that means to you, that you're going to be able to take on that next week and get that time. And it's something that I always am working on because as
Time
it just
blocking.
changes, but your schedule can change daily, new clients and things come up,
Yeah.
and you want to be there for all of it, but you have to really prioritize, where you actually need to be and what requires your time and attention
Mhm.
versus, maybe someone calls who I've been working with for a while, but we're with our nieces or something. And I'm like, okay, well, let me get you someone to show the house. And I can't do it today because this is a day that I'm with my family, and it's just having that has been like great for my peace of mind.
Yeah.
And just trying to figure that out and navigate that, it's exhausting. But at the same time, it's for the greater good when you
Yeah.
actually go through the motions.
Yeah, I think like once you actually figure it out, like what does Austin usually say? Like your if your grass is 6 feet tall, like the first time you cut it, it's gonna suck ass. But then like the second time around, you're just trimming a little bit of
Yeah,
the
you're
grass.
maintaining.
Yeah, you maintain.
Yeah. The
Like
first time.
once you actually get the hang of it, like
Mhm.
it's okay, but as you're going through the changes and like the challenges of like trying to manage your work and your life, and especially if you're in you're an entrepreneur and you make your own schedule or you run your own business, it's kind of like how do you manage your time? Because the people that work a 9 to 5 know that they go plug in their 9 to 5 and then the rest of the shit is theirs. The rest of the day is theirs. They can do whatever they want to do.
Mhm.
Laundry, hang out. They know where they can be, when they can make appointments and when whatever. But like when you're a realtor or when you whatever other type of business you when you're, working for yourself, your clients can call you any time of the day.
Yep.
You can be sitting here one day, 1 second, and then like you said, you can get a call to go show a house and it's like,
Mhm.
"Well, what? Like I'm doing something right now."
Yeah, because
But
like half
like
the time you can be talking to yourself for a few months and they're like, "Hey, just saw the house you sent me. Let's go." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm busy today, but like, damn, I would like to get some in-person time with you now that we're finally connecting." So just like,
yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah.
And it could be so frustrating,
Yeah.
but trying to just communication is key. Like to let them know this is what I have going on. Let me get someone out there for you. We'll, make sure as long as they're good, they're happy and
Yeah.
everything's
But I think
good,
if you know, like from that standpoint now, like this is we're talking before. So like now when our clients communicate, because we've gone through a ton of coaching and now you have to make sure that you're setting that example up front
Mhm.
and just that expectation up front that's like, "Hey, like if you call me, I'm gonna get back to you within, 24 hours or whatever that is for you. And, if you can't reach me by phone, send me a text message. If you want to go on some showings, let me know ahead of time because these things we have to schedule and it's
Right.
not only my time, it's, the homeowner's time that they
Right.
got to get out of the house. So like we can't just be up and out of here whenever it's convenient for you. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
say it in a nicer way, right? But like these are just like the types of things that you have to set the tone like from the jump so that you don't deal with these things later on. But it
Yeah.
totally, I mean, your work life balance is probably one of the hardest things that you will ever do,
Yeah.
honestly. Like like it makes me frustrated because it's like, and that's why I get up so early in the morning to make sure I have my time in the morning, because it's like I know that I'm not going to have that time to myself in the middle of my day or even at the end of my day unless like I really don't have anything going on, and if that's the time that I get to myself, then that's the time that I get to myself, and I know that, and I'm going to utilize it, and that's my me time, and just that's it.
Yeah.
So time blocking is a big deal. I'm still working on that myself. I think the whole work life balance thing is like it's what you make it.
Mhm.
There is no like here's the schedule and here you go. You have to make that schedule and live by it and be disciplined enough to like not mess that up. Because if you do, you're only screwing yourself.
Right.
And then you get the burnout and then you get tired or you lack the commitment to whatever other obligations you have, whether it's family or your kids or your nieces or whatever. It's like you got to lock in at some point and figure it out and dial it in and actually do it so that you can sail your ship, you
Yeah.
know?
Period.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think that's pretty much where I'm at, where what we're feeling.
Mhm.
How about them Lions, guys? How about them Lions?
We'll see, I guess. I don't even know what time the game is on tonight.
8:00.
Oh,
Um,
you guys, this coffee's so good.
yeah.
I'm just at the end of it right now.
I honestly, my matcha was slapping today too, but we won't bore you guys with the rest of our coffee tales. I think today's been eventful to say the least.
It's been fun.
Been a fun one.
Oh, we're 40
a lot
minutes
of
in.
a lot of random conversation.
I'm
but
enjoying talking
hopefully,
though.
oh, I know.
I don't want to stop. This is fun.
Do tell. What else?
I
You have
don't
something on
know.
your mind?
Let me think here.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything that I want to tell you guys? There is totally some things I want to tell you guys, but I can't. Um, is there anything that I want to tell you guys that we haven't talked about? No, I think I'm a pretty open book for the most part.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot.
You guys can find out anything you want about our lives over the course of this platform, or we totally spilt all the tea on the RPR podcast. So
Yeah.
if you want to know what shit we've been through, you can check that out because I'm totally not trying to share that here right now at all.
We'll be here for another hour at least. But
Yeah, and otherwise, no. I feel like there is something I could have talked about, but I think that's about it.
feeling good. Do you want to like pull another popsicle stick or something? I don't know. I feel like you're just like
I'm totally like in the mood to just keep doing this podcast.
I know.
right now.
I could tell. I could tell.
Okay, let's do one more popsicle stick and
Okay.
we'll call it a day. We got
Okay.
We can cut it at
No,
45
run
minutes.
it. Go ahead. I can feel the energy.
Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. You guys want me to sing for you?
Oh my god.
You want me to sing a song? Oh my god,
We should do a karaoke episode.
Oh my god, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I can show you guys how good I sing Hillary Duff.
We should totally. We're gonna talk about this.
2000s.
I'm actually gonna write this down.
Write it down. 2000s karaoke podcast day. But then we got to figure out how to like bypass the copyright stuff because like
It's gonna be fine. There's
maybe if I'm the one singing it, they won't be able to tell that it's someone else's song because of how bad I'm gonna butcher it. I'm actually not the worst singer. I'm not the best.
yeah, she's being modest right now, guys.
That's not
She
true.
can carry a tune for sure.
I can carry the tune.
And we'll make sure that it's on the podcast because I really like this karaoke idea. Like, how fun would it be if everybody just like came in and we did like
Who's everybody?
I don't know, people that we know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
like,
I don't know. I
feel
just
like
have like some random ideas going through my head right now.
Open door podcast karaoke crossover. Leave the door open for people that want to come on. You get one song. You better tear it up, and then you get the hell out of my face because the mic is mine. I'm just
Hilarious.
kidding. Okay, let me read this popsicle stick. Time management techniques. Can we just cover that?
Honestly, I feel like they always sound repetitive until someone else picks it, and then I'm like, "Wow,
We
that's a
actually
great question."
did something, yeah. Hear ye, hear ye. That was a wild card popsicle stick. As if we needed that. I talk about the same shit so much.
I know.
How are we on episode
Okay.
11, honestly?
If we're repetitive, like someone tell us.
No, don't tell us. I don't want to hear it. Who or what has been your biggest inspiration in business?
Ooh, good one.
That is such a fun question. Who or what has been your biggest inspiration in business? My biggest inspo. I don't think I could put my finger on one thing. I think,
Lean into your mic.
Oh, I don't think I could put my finger on one thing. I think it's I think my inspiration has come from like who I see myself as in the future. Like
I love that.
me in the future is like I want to be like her, and that inspires me to do things today. But some people that have influenced my life and my business, I'm gonna go with my family first and foremost, and actually Jesus first and foremost, then my family, and then I'm gonna have to go with Unc, Austin Chevron and Chevron Coaching, and I would say that's like my
The 2
biggest.
biggest influence
Those are
or
the
though all of them is, yeah.
biggest influence, like impact in my life for sure. And then I feel like I'm missing people that I should just be thinking about. But another just like female, like badass that I just totally admire is Tina Call.
I love that. I love her.
Like ever since like even before we knew her like on a personal level, like I remember who was I talking to? Um I don't know. It was like a one-on-one. It might have been Jimmy, but like way in the when we first met, like years ago. Um and they were like, "Who do you want to be like?" And I'm like, "I don't want to be like anybody." Like
Yeah, wanna be like Raquel.
that is so not me. And,
Yeah.
and I'm sure after 11 episodes you can figure that out. Of like what my personality is like. And I don't have any desire to be like anybody else. I
Mhm.
want to be like Raquel, whoever I figure that to be
Right.
is my business. But the only person that I could think of at the time that I was like relatively that I would want to be like was Tina, because she's just like when I look at future Raquel, it looks like her, look like what she does. I don't know that I necessarily like want a giant team. I don't know if her team is giant, but I don't necessarily want a whole team, or like, you know, like identical to like what she, but just like who she is as a person. She's so kind, like she's so giving, she's so thoughtful. She's a public speaker, and she's a badass, and she does well for herself, and she has from what I can tell, a pretty dope, like happy life. Her husband's dope. Like her son is, we met him too. And like they're just good people, and to me, that's, success. You don't have to be the richest person, have the most money to be successful. Like success is whatever you think it is. And to me, that's just having a good life,
Mhm.
however you're comfortable. Like I want to have some money in my pocket. I want to have, my family. I want them taken care of. Maybe have my own family one day, if that's in, God's plan for me. And that's like that's what I see. Like that's how I feel. So yeah. So that would be my biggest inspo.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, hold on, let me read it again 'cause lost right now. Was it a green one? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, the biggest inspiration in my business or in business, I feel like I agree with everything that you said for sure. Surprise, surprise. We're very similar, but also on the same note, the way my way of thinking before I even got my license and things like that, literally I can't see farther opposites than my mindset then versus my mindset today. And it's been because of this company and the people in it, and the people in our circle that we've, encountered along the way. I think so many of them have had such a positive influence on both of us.
Yeah.
And even just the way your viewpoint should be, and like just a a more positive, a more like building, learning, growth, like all of that is so important to incorporate into your mindset when I mean, and I was at a very impressionable time too, but it was just like people think like that. Like people it just was a whole different world, the goals orient, all that stuff. And I was just really taken back by all of that. And after seeing, because you had already been with the company for it was at least a year, right? Or two, probably close to by that point. And even just seeing the effect that it all had on you. And I
Yeah.
was like, I love that. And I'm so
Mhm.
happy for you. Like, I wanted that, but I was like, I don't think I want it in real, like, I don't know. It just didn't
Yeah.
seem like that was gonna happen yet, the whole me being in real estate thing too. But I was like so just taken back by everything that you were like coming back home and telling me about and saying and like what you were learning and what you were doing. And I was just wowed, like for real. And then just coming into that, setting, super intimidating, but also I'm also naturally like a very observant person. I'm very quiet, and that
Silent but deadly.
but like it's just I need to like be aware of my surroundings and like be comfortable to open up as my authentic self.
Yeah.
And but just seeing like, and you're going to find good and bad seeds wherever you go, but just like seeing how many just great people that we were surrounded with and like their mindset was really a big part of what kind of like got me up off my ass and like out of that drowning in negativity mindset that I was in for so long
Yeah.
to having the complete opposite outlook. And then once that mind shift actually started to happen, it was like then I was hearing what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
But first I had to like fix that cuz none of that, like all of that sounds so corny and just like silly almost. I'm just like, these people just drink Kool-Aid all
Yeah.
day and
Yeah.
just, you know, egg each other on, and just I don't even know what the hell's going on. It's like a
Hoorah.
circus in here,
Yeah.
just like this whole whatever. And I was just like, I don't know. I felt like some type of way about it, but once I like fully grasped and understood, like it's just a complete mindset shift
Mhm.
before anything. Like
Yeah.
before you're going to take anything seriously and do anything, it's got to start with you first.
Yeah.
And then once all the wisdom was poured onto us and like all the people that I've been able to be influenced by, all of our coaches and all of the like just wonderful people that we're surrounded with, now I can actually take that in because it makes sense now. Like my old way of thinking and mindset makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes zero sense. I can't even believe that I spent so many years in such a dark place. Like, and it's you don't even realize
You
it
don't know what
though.
you don't
While it's
know.
happening,
Yeah.
you cannot even like you think, oh, I'm fine, whatever, and this is my life and whatever. It's fine. It's not fine. Like, but until you have some sort of moment that you're like, I want more for my life. And I think these are great people. And actually hearing what people are saying. If you're not open to change and you don't want to, take someone's advice and think about, bettering yourself and your future, you're just gonna laugh at anything anybody says to you. It just sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
It really like to me, that's how I would have taken it. And that's kind of how I did take it. And then like on top of all that was like the added pressure of like being in your space when you were already, established and doing your thing. And that was another scary thing that I just added on to my plate where I was
Mhm.
like, what am I even doing here? Like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, the doubt and the I don't know if I'm gonna make it. And like, you let people like one small comment might change that trajectory. But instead of listening to the negative ones, I'm like, stay in your lane. If this is what you want to do, do it. And like I fell off for a little bit. I was working another job and doing all that. And then I was like, another aha moment. I loved my job. Like, and I didn't even realize it until I was at my backup plan. And then I was like, you know what? This isn't for me anymore. This is for Christy and her old ways and her old way of thinking. And
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, how are we going to get back to what we were doing and get back into that circle and those people? And like, this is what I want to do, and then you just figure it out and you do it. But I guess to put a little bow on that was the biggest inspiration in my business was a collective of things
That's a long road.
yeah, to pinpoint it to one, I don't even think I could
The
do.
umbrella of EXP. And I will say this because this isn't even just to like stroke EXP. It's just like I've been with other brokerages as well. And I can honestly say, and something that EXP is like totally focused on is like your wellness. Like every like training and stuff that we go to, so much of it is like geared towards like your mindset, your mindset, your
Mhm.
mindset. And it's such a huge thing. Um, And it should be like across the board. Like any real estate company should totally like
Really any
be
job,
focused on that. Yeah.
anything that you're doing, because I've worked a lot of
Especially
different
customer
odd jobs
service.
and, just always in customer service and like, some form, and the management and the leadership was just miserable. Like,
Mhm.
and you can literally like, there's times different jobs that I've had that I would just go to work with a whole in a state of anxiety from like
Yeah, like
the
you
time
just
I walk
didn't even
in
wanna
to the time
go.
I would leave. But I'm like, this is what I'm doing right now. And like, whatever,
Yeah.
something's got to give eventually. And you just go and check yourself into another place mentally. But truly, it should be incorporated everywhere, I
Yeah.
think. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying that with EXP they're just super focused on that, and I feel like that's just to your point, the the influence of them and all of the people collectively has just totally morphed our brains into totally different people for the better.
Hmm.
And I think we're not the only ones that feel like that. I think your vibe attracts your tribe, and we've all collectively like come together because it's a very uplifting place to be. And we're all in different places,
Yeah.
we're in Michigan, Christy and I, but we are the Property Sisters Network. And with EXP, we have a network of agents all over the world, literally. But
Yeah.
like the people that, that we have, specifically named, some are here, some are in different states. It's a collective. And I think, I just think it's a super solid place to be. We've been totally blessed to end up here and around the people that we are. It's just that it's a blessing,
Hmm.
to have a different mindset from, to be able to sit here and say like I was one way and now I'm another, and it's like whoa,
Yeah.
and
And we
it's
say it so like la di da,
but
like,
it's
but
so
it's
deep.
been,
It's so
yeah,
deep,
it's
like,
been
and it's over
a
years.
lot of years of work. And like, even sometimes you don't even want to do the work because you're just like, for me, like when I started, I'm just like, okay, I gotta get to this thing, or I gotta do this one thing, and then like I'll be good, and then like I'll feel better. But it's like
No,
that's never changed. Like it's always been another thing. It's never
there's
done.
always
It's
going to be another
always,
thing.
always
But
changing.
that's the best part, because like,
Yes.
why do you want to get to a place where it's like, okay, that's it,
Yeah.
that's the end? Like
Right.
that's another point too that I will just make really quick is we all get so hung up on like the destination instead of like being in the journey. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, but what happens when you get to the destination? What's next?
Right.
What's next?
Right.
Like, I want to keep growing, I want to keep evolving, I
Yeah.
want to keep learning. Like, and it's crazy for me because I was a horrible student, so was she. And but like now all we want to do is like be sponges, and we just want to absorb all this information that we can because we're surrounded by such incredible people.
Hmm.
And then using this podcast and just like our um
Kind of like our
just our
outlet,
connections
also.
to
Yeah.
but just to like
Connections
just
and
to
let you
spill it
know.
out to the rest of
Yeah.
the world, because it's like there's a bunch of me and Christy's running around, old me and Christy's running around everywhere. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And like, and we're still work in progress, but I'm just saying like if everybody could just like come together to make the world a better place, quite literally, it could be, and I just think
Yeah.
that's such a cool
It starts with
concept.
you though, and
Yeah.
it's what you put out there and
Yeah.
the next life that you change. And I can truly say that that's how I
Oh
feel,
my god, so
because
many
I
people
was
have changed
just
our lives. Yeah.
it's yeah, and I was just the complete opposite of today, and now I'm like, I don't recognize the other person anymore,
And now
you
she's on a
know? Now
podcast.
I'm on a
And when
podcast.
I told her that because it was like me, Chrissy, and Jimmy that were like sitting at his in his office one day, and we were just kind of talking about like what's next for us, and I just kind of looked over it and I was like, we got to do a podcast. And
I pretty much shut down at that point. I was like, yeah, okay,
she
whatever.
looked at me like
Like a deer in headlights.
literally like there was no way that I was about to get her on a podcast, but I knew that she knew how serious I was, and there was no way that I was going to do it without her, because I can't do it without her, and I wouldn't want to anyways because that'd be boring. But it's like it was just like this moment where like I was like, we're gonna do this, right? And she's like, uh-huh. Like, I don't want to, but like I guess I'll be there. And like now I would like to think that you are enjoying it. It's like
Yeah,
it's been fun. It's opened up doors for us. We've connected with different people that maybe we wouldn't have connected with before. And it's like,
100%.
and this to me is just like, oh, I can't do that on Saturday or Friday or whenever we, decide to record
Oh,
because
the first episode that we were coming to record, I the night before, I remember I was just like, we're not doing this. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't even want to. I was like frozen in
It was
fear.
hard. It was definitely hard.
And I think that day, I think you didn't hesitate, but like I think it was like snow. No, it wasn't snowing. I don't know. It was just like a weird day, and we were like running around.
We got the self-doubt syndrome.
Yeah.
And the lazy bug the devil tried to make his way in.
And I think I was like, no, let's go.
Yeah.
And I just knew, like, even though I was just being tortured on the inside with my own thoughts, I knew it was bigger than me and my thoughts. And, our partnership is not something where I would ever want to hold you back. And I know vice versa. So that was like another big thing for me. And then I'm like, well, everything that you've done up to this point, yeah, it's scary, but like the growth comes from it, the growing pains, and you'll feel better eventually. I didn't know when, but like every time, I think the anxiety's gotten a little bit less. We don't fight as much as we did in the beginning when it was like before or after every episode, you can count on an argument between us at some point. And I think all of it's just like kind of starting to come together in a way where we're just like, we have our groove and like, we just have fun with it now. I know you've been having fun with it, but like, I think I'm learning to have a little more fun with it instead of being like,
I mean, I was a little anxious
I know, but like
definitely a lot less.
It's at least in a way where you were able to speak and do what was needed.
Your mouth,
I was like,
said words.
Yeah. And I'm over here like, hey guys, welcome to our podcast.
I'm like, Christy, face in the mic. Yeah, this shit's been fun.
Anyway, so the growth and just the fear and all that stuff, just try to swallow it, forget about it. It's there, but don't let it consume you. Don't let it overtake you, because you never know what's going to come of that and how much better you're going to feel once you take these things out and you're like, nope, I'm going to do this. Nothing's going to stop me from doing this. And whatever happens with this podcast and whatever we, want to talk about, and like everything's going to be fine. And we're enjoying ourselves and we're having a normal conversation. It's like whatever, but it was a lot to tackle in the beginning. So whatever you're thinking about doing, just go do it.
Period. Yeah. Tackle that dragon, y'all.
Oh yeah, the drag.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks
for being here with us on our Bold Moves journey. It's always fun coming to you recorded and not live. Not
maybe we'll surprise you one day.
I think we'll have to have like a planned live episode where it's like the one
I was gonna say, like I don't know.
Maybe we do like here in their lives instead of like the consistent. I like
cute. Oh my
God.
at
all these ideas that we're rebirthing here for you guys. And this is all just our tea that we're splashing everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll put that out there. Stay tuned for a live episode of the Bold Moves podcast. We don't know when it's going to be yet, but we will get there. And maybe it'll be announced in the next podcast. And you can bet that we will be 5 minutes late. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when that day comes. Anyways,
it's our show. We're going to do what we want. So we'll keep you in the loop anyway.
That's all. But thanks for being here as always. Thanks for supporting us. If you would like to connect with us, we are on Instagram at Property Sisters of Michigan. And we are on YouTube on the Property Sisters Network. This is Bold Moves. If you'd like to reach out to us, if you think you have a bold story,
we want to hear it.
You can email us, propertysisters@gmail.com. And that's all I got.
That's it. All right. We're out.
Have a
Love you guys. Go Lions.
Day. Nice weekend. Yes. Go Lions. Let's get that dub. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.